Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here, aka Ronda without an H. I am here today with a design team project for 49 Dragonflies, Barbara. And this is what we're going to do today. These are ATC cards. For those of you that are unfamiliar with that term, that's the initial for artist trading cards. When trading them, oftentimes you do it in a set of 3, which is what I've done here. And I absolutely love these. I think they turned out beautifully. I wanted you to see kind of up close. That's why I've got my camera up a little bit right now so you can see. I just think these are amazing. This could be a family, absolutely. This is grandma, mom, and the girls, you know, and be brave. They just look like it just seemed to fit. It's like, yeah, they seem a little bit nervous. I don't know what they're doing, but yeah. And then grandma, she's just salt of the earth. She's just a good woman and faithful and religious and probably kind of no nonsense, don't you think? And then here are the parents, you know, be true. This was remember, and this is be true. And I've tied them all together. I've used everything here is 49 Dragonflies. And I will, of course, will put all of the links to the individual sheets that I have in the description box below for you. I'm going to go ahead now and whoops, wrong way. Let's take it out a little bit so we can work here a little bit easier. Okay, so this is what we're making. Artist trading cards. Oftentimes also when you're doing artist trading cards, on the back you will put something on the back to show, give a title, a name, a date, etc. These I just got off Pinterest. There's lots of ones on there that you can use to cover them if you want, if you're trading. You know, just anything and everything. Typically, the backs are not decorated. Typically, the back is used to give your information. And I have other ATCs that I've done through the years, mixed media using fabric and whatnot. And you can look through my videos and look for those. They're kind of fun. So what I've done today, oh, crud. Already, I have a boo-boo. See this? Look, I've stitched here, but I forgot to stitch here. So I will do that, but I'm not going to worry about that just at the moment. First of all, let's gather our supplies together and what we're going to use today to make these. And I'll do, you know, they'll be a little bit different, but they're basically going to use the same ingredients, if you will. Okay, so there is a sheet, and I will put it, it's medical. It has 2, like, these are way reduced, but it has 2 of these. They're different, and I thought it would be fun to take those and reduce them and use those as my basic background. And so that's what I have done here. Really, you can't see a whole lot of that, but the whole idea of mixed media is layering. And oftentimes something that you think is absolutely beautiful, you have to be prepared when doing mixed media that you're going to cover up a lot of pretty things to create other pretty things, if that makes sense. And I'm sure probably most of you have already made ATC cards. Now I printed these at an 8 by 10, I think, is what I printed them at. And then I have just trimmed them down. I think I tried printing a 5 by 7 and it was too little. Too. So, you know, just whatever your printer is, you can just play with that. The size of an ATC is 2.5 by 3.5 inches. They fit perfectly in these baseball card protectors, these that traditionally you have 9, and that size fits in perfectly. These are mixed media backgrounds that I have created some time ago that are just waiting to be, you know, come to life again. But anyway, that's the size, and that's a wonderful size for keeping track of and keeping them in the sleeves, which is what I do with mine. Another thing that you can do with these wonderful trading cards, and that is, and I believe I have a video on this, the holder, which is a fun, kind of a different thing to do if you don't want to use those, you know, the large notebook with the 9. I've taken that and I have, as you can see, I have a wonderful little collection. These are all ATC cards that have been gifted to me. I believe this was I believe that this was a giveaway, and to, you know, for some prizes and things. And one of the parameters was to send me an ATC card to be entered in. So this is a fun little book to put your sweet little goodies in. And I just happen to have one that I created. Actually, I created this the other day. And at that point, I don't know if I was thinking of making ATCs, but look, these are unrelated. It's just holding space until I get my cards in. But as you can see, look how delicious. It's just a fun thing to collect. It's fun to trade with friends. I have last year and even before that, I was trading with my cousin and a friend of hers monthly ATCs, and it was so much fun. I got kind of bogged down with the stuff, got kind of busy, but anyway. Okay, so this is what we're doing. So, the background is this medical prescription something, whatever sheet that it is. And this was in 1934, it appears to be. And I cut them down to 2.5 by 3.5 inches. My paper is not cardstock. It's a good sturdy, I use Red River paper. It's expensive, but it gives amazing images in your printer, at least my printer. But you can use whatever you want. And what I did also was to, let me grab it over here, just a piece of cardstock. And cardstock these days is not the same thickness as it used to be years ago. It's a thinner, but it's still it's pretty sturdy. And ATC cards are typically fairly sturdy. Oftentimes people will even use playing cards. Now you have to be careful because some playing cards are not a 2.5 by 3.5 inch. They vary in size. So this is what I backed this with. Let's just take Excuse me. Let me get you can kind of tell this is pretty good texture now. Pretty good and sturdy. Now, if I want to embellish and do my stitching, I can do that on this, and then after I've stitched and whatnot, then I can glue this other paper on, and you won't see this stitching, so it's nice and smooth. So that's what I think we'll do today. And I think we'll do one, maybe two, I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. Let's get started. I'm gonna pull one of those. I'll set that off to the side for the moment. This is deli paper. I use this to cover my book pages that I sell in my Etsy shop. And I love it because it's very delicate. It's see-through. And this I have coffee dyed. And I am just going to, I'm going ahead and measuring this 2.5 by 3.5. We'll get another one done there, just in case. We've got this extra. Never throw it away. We know that, right? Okay, so this is what I'm doing to tone this down. And I decided I'm using this. This is a naughty book. It's a war book or something, and I've tried to, these pages are a perfect size to use for glue pages and whatnot, or in my book, but it's just got foul language, and I don't know, they talk about murder and death and rape and ugh, you know, it's like, so I'm turning it into a grunge. Going to use it as glue all over it. Do your inking around, and then you throw that sucker away. Because I don't want to have to always be watching out to see if it's got bad language, because I can pretty much know, if nothing else, it's just depressing. I don't like depressing things. Okay, so simple, right? We've got a great little background, and to add just a little bit, I might bring in a little bit of dictionary paper. I have done that. Let's just take these back out so we can, I know that plastic makes it a little bit, causes a glare. So I will just kind of scooch that out of the way. So these are the elements that I have used. I've used this background. I have used vintage, grungy vintage notes and grungy vintage bird notes for, you can see right here, and right here. It just adds a wonderful element, and it's super fast, and these are so cute. And I printed these out for an 8 by 10 size. So we'll use that. I've printed this again. I love these, I use these all the time. And we'll find something that we like there. And then the cabinet cards, we'll go through, and I have printed these. Did I do these 5? No, I did these 8 by 10 as well. And then we'll find the ones we want to use. And then the other element I have used is coffee dyed cheesecloth and stitching, and then finishing it off with some butterflies. Now these have been printed at 5x7 size to make them really small. And I just printed these birds and these flowers at that too while I was printing this morning. I thought, you never know. Okay, so, and this does have a tendency to curl once we get it all embellished, and once we get everything on it, then it'll be great. It won't curl anymore. All right, so let's just kind of take a look, see, and you help me pick out 3. I want to do 3 that might kind of sort of go together. Okay. It's hard. It's hard to pick, right? Because there's so many good ones here. Oh, I love these, love these, love these. All righty. Okay. All right. So I want something different. Well, these I've already picked out and I've used these. So we'll set those aside. We could do young women. We could do like theirs. We could do something like this perhaps. Let's see. Those are 3 look like fairly young girls, or young women. Let's see, let's set that aside. That is a possibility. We could do like family type. There's those would be good too. Yeah. I like those too, and you've got the babies here. They don't have a baby with them yet, but that's still a couple. Those are nice. And or we could just do, it can just be random, anything really. Picking. Oh, picking. Now, what you can do too is you can do it by kind of color grouping. This is more of the sepia, the natural sepia color. Those would be nice together. These are grouped nicely together. This is a little bit lighter. These 2 are the same. If you wanted to keep it in that color tone, you could trade that out and have something like this, and maybe that does look better to keep it kind of in the color tone. I don't know that that's like all that important to do. These aren't really. She's a little bit different, but they tie together because of all the other elements that we put in them. Okay, let's just, and these are all different, the young women. You know what? I'm just gonna grab, because this is just really, what I should do is catch a tigger by the toe, eeny meeny, and do it that way. That's what I should do. I'm gonna do these. Okay. I hope you agree. If you don't, and even if you do agree, I'll put the links below. Go to Barbara's store, get the cabinet cards, and do the ones that are calling out to you. Okay, now I want to trim down. You know what? Let's go back a step. While we're doing this, why don't we go ahead and do all three? And we won't necessarily get that done on camera, but I will then be able to finish it off camera, and it will take less time than doing it individually. That is one thing that is good when you have a project that you're working on. If you're doing multiples of it, it really does save time when you go through that process and you kind of do it all together. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cover these two as well. I'm just using a regular glue stick. We are just going to line it up. Now what you could do too, depending on, and of course whatever background you choose, if you want, you don't have to use something like this. You can use you can just have a pretty paper, or the collage pages. Barbara has some wonderful collages, and the papers, the coffee dyed papers and things, backgrounds, you could just print out one of those wonderful backgrounds, and then you could use deli paper or tracing paper or something of that nature, and cover the whole page, and then cut your 2.5 by 3.5 inch pieces, and that would work great as well. Okay, so now that we've got the three, we'll go ahead and we want to trim down. So for this one, and I'm not going to, because these are good as they are, but for this purpose, I still want it a bit smaller so that my other elements can also show up. It's small art. I mean, no two ways about it. An ATC card is small, but it's art. Okay? And sometimes when you're working on these smaller projects, they take as much time and sometimes more than your bigger projects and such. So we are just... Do you ever, when you look at old photos, you guys, do you ever just kind of wonder about their lives? I do. I look at them and number one, when I see them in an antique store, it makes me really sad, because I know that somebody, some family has just let them go, and that, I don't know, it just makes me sad that the family doesn't care to keep their ancestors around them. Now I know that that's not. And really, if they're just going to sit in a drawer, or if they're going to be thrown away, then it absolutely is a good thing, to share them with others. And for those of us that like to do what we do, then it's a way of of bringing them alive and give, that they're appreciated. This is a Tim Holtz tool. You don't have to have this, but this is for roughing up edges, and that is what I have used on the ones that I showed you, the finished ones. I'm just trying to do this the very same as what I did so you can see the whole process. And you could corner round those if you'd like. I just opted not, but you certainly can do that. And in some respects, it might be easier to. So this tool is just a little, it's got a blade, and this protects your fingers and such, but that little blade just kind of roughs it up as you sort of grunge it. Okay, now what I'm doing is going to ink around. I don't want the white showing. I want to give this a nice little ink border. Alrighty, so that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and set those off to the side because we're working on this one and I want to get it done so you can see the elements. So now what I'm going to do is to pick out, I'm going to pick a word and I'm going to pick a background that I want for her. Let's see, let me see what backgrounds I've already cut out to see if any of those could work. I'm open. I am open, my friends. Well, that could work. Okay. Well, sure. That is on this one, the grungy notes. Okay, let's do that. Now we're going to ink around there as well. Want to make sure that is nicely highlighted. And I'm not, being too terribly careful about the way I'm doing it. If it's a little splotchier in one area versus another, I'm okay with that. I think that just kind of adds to the charm. And even, who was it that did this the other day? They said they did by one of their subbies, it said do a print, like a thumbprint on the paper. That didn't, yeah. Anyway. But that's something. I'm sure that it does work if you have the right application, the right stuff. Okay, so we've got that. I want to pick a phrase and I want to add some cheesecloth. I have this little piece that's left over. Cheesecloth is amazing, you guys. I love working with cheesecloth. It has this, I don't know, it feels old, it feels vintage, especially when, you dye it, but it still has these elements of, I don't know, I just love it. It makes me think of antique, it makes me think of vintage, it makes me think of all those things that we love that way. Okay, now let's look for a butterfly. A butterfly. And while we're doing that, we might just want to add splenopexy, spell that 3 times? I dare you. I have no idea what that means. Let's see. Be covered up. No. Oh, or we could have spindle shanks. Everybody needs some of those. Okay. Oh. What did I do? You know, sometimes you have to be careful. I think I have goobered her up. I think she was good. Okay. Okay. I did goober her up. Wow. All right. I had deckled, I'd torn this with my decal edge, but I didn't want to leave the, I thought it was so skinny at the top there. I didn't want to, you know, have her head disappear. So what could I do to make that okay and use this one? Oh, goodness gracious, you guys. So I'm just spritzing water on this washcloth. I keep an old, clean, grungy washcloth by my side when I'm working so I can do this. Clean up. All right. Okay, now my hands are a little bit better. So, well, that's, you know, that happens. So there you go. If you want to avoid that, then then do. Then do. Avoid that. Just be aware, you guys. Stuff happens. It's only paper. It's only paper. I can reprint. I can do a different image. I can do a lot of different things if that's really, really bothering me. Let's check out a phrase. What would be a phrase for her? Embrace the journey? Is she going somewhere? Curiosity. Be true. Choose to shine. Oh, there's a lot here. Documented. Live in the moment. Remember the now. Believe in yourself. Wow. Be authentic. Ugh. Make a wish. Limited edition. Wander. Make a wish. Well, let's see. Let's try this one. Believe in yourself and see. Number 1, would it be okay across there? It's just, these are fun, you guys. And you've seen me make a few mistakes already. And that's just, I make mistakes all the time, regardless of what it is. I don't do much baking or cooking much anymore. My husband does most of that for us. He's retired and is a good cook and enjoys it. So who am I to stand in his way? You know. Now here's another thing we could do. Now see, this is, where is it? Where are you? Hello, hello. These are nice and orderly, right? Let's funk these up a little bit. Okay. We're gonna make this work. Okay. Yep. Gonna do it. Gonna do it. Gonna do it. Gonna. That's spelled G-U-N-N-A. Gonna. Or gonna. I don't know. Going to. G-O-I-N-G. That is just not me. I am kind of anal about proper English. I hear a lot of people in their videos say things that aren't proper English, and it kind of makes me go, oh no. But I do use slang when I don't. If I'm going to ask for a drink of water, I'm really asking for a drink of W-A-D-D-E-R, water, not water. Guess we just all have our quirks, don't we? All right, let us just put this on. Just gluing. I've got my art glitter glue. I'm mixing. Oh, no. You know I love to mix my glues up. Okay, so we're just kind of skiwampishing this. Is that a word? Okay. And this is just kind of a fun little thing for you to practice, because it is fun to switch it up, and it gives a whole different look to your project when you do it this way. When you don't have it nice and orderly, it just sort of gives a little bit of freedom, if you will. Movement. You definitely get the movement aspect. It doesn't feel static. Okay. Believe in yourself. We could do, yeah, let's do it this other way. We're really gonna, yeah. Totally different than what I had originally planned. As you're aware, you were with me when I did my mistakes there. Okay, and now we need something more. We need something down here. Oh, another thing that you can do, I didn't do on this one, but I did on these, and that is I have a stamp, and I stamped some vintage, it's just a postage stamp with some writing that you can't really read. But that was kind of fun. All right, we've got these, or I did these small little birds. Let's see. I don't know. Might be totally bizarre, but you know what? Let's just give it a try. Ugh. And for this one, okay, off come the glasses. I need to really see. I have trifocals now, you guys, but they don't always, I think it was better when I had bifocals. So I'm trying to do this without taking tons of time, because I know watching me cut out this bird is not the highlight of your day. It's not the highlight of my day. I'm not being super careful, I guess. Just trying to get it done. Okay. Now, I need to wipe any glue off. And I want to go around it, vintage it up. See how easily, how quickly that just kind of makes it pop that way. You know what? I like it. I like it. Yay! So let's go ahead. We will, come on, lift up. Okay, that part is done. Now what I want to do is to go ahead and put on the back. What did I do with that gray? Let's go ahead and cut out a 2.5 by 3.5 piece. We'll set that aside. We'll set that aside. We will go ahead and, where's that ugly naughty book page? And we will just lather that. Lots of glue. I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. Oftentimes, those who use glue sticks and don't like them, oftentimes it's because they haven't, oh, that's messed up. Because they have not, oh, what am I doing? That's a finished one. God. They have not glued enough. They have glued it very lightly. I've just got a bunch of glue going on here today. I apologize, you guys. I don't know what the deal is for me today. Usually that's not that awkward, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so I've got that. I feel like I want to trim this just a smidgen because it's showing the two. It's showing a little bit, so I want to take that off, both the front and the back, so that I know I can be kind of that way, anal about it. But I'll tell you what, when I make a journal, I put this kind of time and effort into it. And my journals are expensive, but they're really, really well made. Okay. Alrighty. Now we'll get the corner rounder out. And we will just round. Come on. Oh, come on. There. And then she said, now we're going to go all around with our ink. And I'm using vintage photo. You can use whatever ink, you know, you feel like gives you that wonderful aged look. I think this does a great job. But I use other things as well. This is just what I've got out and what I'm using today. All right. Okay, move all that out of the way, and we shall, let me show you these others. These are so much fun, you guys. So much fun. Now, I even think a little butterfly might work here in addition to this bird that I found. But see the movement when you turn it on edge and you funky it up just a little bit? I love them both. I think they're both really fun. Okay, I'm going to call that good for this video, you guys. Go check out Barbara's shop. She's got a wonderful array of digitals for you. Until next time, I love you guys. I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. And yeah, until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye-bye now. Okay, just real quick, I wanted to show you the finished ATC cards. I did these other two. We did the one together, and then I finished the other two. And how I made them come together was I did bird images and butterfly images and made them crooked so that they have movement. I love them. I love these. I love these. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you've gotten something that you can use for your own art. And again, until I see you next time, have a fabulous day. I love you guys. Bye-bye.